get ready, okay? Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother, who did not like her because she made her work hard every day. Yeah, I bet she could never get her work done, her own work. Cinderella called her stepmother. She went downstairs and she said, I want you to clean the floors, wash the windows, dust the drapes. I did that yesterday, said Cinderella. Do it again, said the stepmother. She worked as fast as she could, but there was always one more thing to do for Cinderella. Do this, do that. Oh dear, I will never have time to finish a quilt. Right, Teddy? I lost him already. Oh, but I have you. I am going to show you some tips and techniques that will help you finish your quilts faster, because sometimes we just don't have time. Come on up to my studio. Come on, Teddy. Good job. Well, hello everyone. I'm back in my studio, Cinderella's quilting studio. So today I'll share some tips on assembling a quilt in progress. Working with my design wall, I'm removing it in sections at the moment. I've been adding rows and getting to this point where I have 3 main sections. This last piece, I am controlling it with 2 smaller sections or subsections, and I'm piecing and pinning as I go, as you can see. First of all, pinning it at intervals just to be able to remove it and get it over to my machine without having to pin it again, or how do we know we get it mixed up and sew the wrong end to the wrong end? Yes, so this method is infallible, and we'll take it over to the machine or right to my ironing section here. So what I've got going here now is I am showing you a quick piecing method that the first step, we're lining up the intersections, getting a perfect match using our precision piecing glue method. So in this method, the first thing you've done is put drops down. This is all water soluble, and I'm pinning it perfectly, getting it ready to heat set. All water soluble glues need to be heat set when you're using them on fabric. That's the key, and they will stay there, under modest pressure, and you get very accurate match-ups this way. This is the final section, just showing you close-up of how I achieved doing all of the rows. So I like using a glass head pin is preferred, because then you don't have to worry about it melting with the heat of the iron. And I am piercing it right at the seam, intersecting with the other seam underneath, and I've also pressed the seams open there. And now I am doing the final heat set on this glue method. So you can always redo a section, checking behind, and you go, this is not quite what I want, it's not quite perfect. So you can just pop it open. See? It will re-glue maybe once, or you can rehydrate, but there you are. It's ready to go. Okay. Backing up here, I am doing the entire row, matching the seam, heat pressing, using that precision piecing glue. Here I'm ready at the machine, lining it up, and I really like this method because when you get going, you can see it's accurate, it's safe, I don't have to stop, pull pins, it's impossible to drive over a pin, and I don't have to poke myself. I can catch seams by feel if I've tucked one under and just pull in my tool. I find the most rewarding part of this process is not having to do something twice, maybe 3 times, maybe 4 times, who knows. I'm sure you've all experienced when you have to redo something, it always takes twice as long, and the enjoyment flies out the window. So getting it right the first time is the fun part. This next step, I like to use my Hera marker, H-E-R-A. It's kind of a sharp plastic tool and for marking and creasing, but it works for a temporary pre-press before you come in with your iron. I like to use the precision piecing starch pen as well for flattening the seam edges. It makes it an easier way to press. You just have to prime the pen if it's dry, just to bring it through the felt tip, bring it down, and it absorbs the starch. And you just make a thin line on the fold. It's very convenient. I use this for piecing as well in my blocks. Then press over the area and heat set that. And it's an easy way to flatten the edges. And you can see that the points are all lined up. So our pieced top is nearing completion. We'll be adding all the final sections together. Story, Teddy. It's called Cinderella. So once upon a time there was a little girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother, who made her work very hard every day. Cinderella called the stepmother, come downstairs and clean the windows, wash the windows, dust the floors.
Okay.